Hi, my name is Ty. Welcome to Brand My Idea. So I run a startup creative agency called Imago DA here in the heart of the ancient city of Ibadan, Nigeria. Our big dream is to see homegrown African ideas, products, and companies become the world's most valuable brands. Now, a few months ago, we started this little thing on Instagram called Brand My Idea. Now, basically, every week we put out a video or audio content on some aspect of branding in very simple everyday language, such that the average business owner or employee can apply in-depth knowledge on branding without any hassles. And why? Because we want to see indigenous businesses grow and thrive. Now, just a quick note, we develop a lot of our content with indigenous African businesses in mind. Now, what this means is that you find the African/Nigerian SME context is heavily evident in a lot of our content. But please feel free to send in any questions, comments, or feedback on our content. It will help us get better and grow faster. So let's get right into today's content. I'd like to talk about how you can leverage on existing precedences when it comes to branding. But first, let's do a small exercise. What images come to mind when you think of the following? Street food. What images come to mind when you think of street food? Now, if you live in a place like the part of Nigeria that I live in, chances are things like roasted corn, roasted plantain, bread and what we call ewa going, bread and akara. Akara is fried bean cakes, or noodles and fried egg, may come to mind. But let's flip the script. Imagine you saw a picture of your favorite street food. What images would that spark up? Perhaps trips with your classmates, back in high school, that's trips home from school. Or maybe that mad hustle, in that year you had your first job. Or perhaps poignant memories of your home country, and so on. How about music? When you think of music, what images come to mind? The face of your favorite music artist, or perhaps large sweaty crowds shouting at the top of their voices, or maybe a place, maybe a musical instrument. How about we flip the script again? Imagine you saw a picture of a trumpet. What images would that spark up? If you're like me, I think of maybe a Louis Armstrong. And then my imagination would probably take me all the way to what I think would be New Orleans in the 1920s, like what I think it would be. And then my mind would most likely not stop there, take me a little further. Maybe then to the Blues Brothers movies. Moving on. How about annoyance? What images does the word annoyance bring to mind? Maybe a pesky mosquito disturbing your much needed sleep. Or perhaps a face, maybe of a neighbor, comes to mind. Or a phone ringing incessantly during a meeting. Let's try to flip the script again. What comes to mind when you see a salesperson at your office at 9 a.m. on Monday morning? Joy, excitement, or like 99.9% of the rest of us, my estimation though, annoyance. What exactly am I going with this? Well, I like to always think of a brand as a perception. What's a perception? It's basically the way something is regarded, understood, or interpreted. You see, people don't exactly buy products, they buy brands. They buy what they regard, understand, or interpret that particular product to be. And all this from where they stand. So it really doesn't matter what you call it. All that matters is what they regard, understand, or interpret the product to be. Now, the thing is, precedences are very powerful in forming perceptions. Everything new that we experience is measured by what we have previously experienced. Human beings interpret new data by data that is already stored. I'll tell you this for free. If you'd ever wondered why your business is not getting the traction you expect from the people you hope to get it from, it could simply be a question of whether or not you look to them like the value you project. Remember, people don't buy products, they buy brands, which means that just as much as you are creating a great product, which is a huge part of your brand, by the way, you need to be deliberately building a great brand too. Now, in creating a brand strategy, you can simply leverage on existing precedences in the mind of your audience and make it work to your advantage. Now, brands are built as specific access points between you and your customers. Advertising, product experiences, customer inquiries, and so on are examples of access points. Now, these experiences that your customers will have at these access points will be regarded, understood, and or interpreted largely based on what precedences already exist in their minds. For example, you can recreate the feel of a cinema experience with the right sound and lighting and win the heart of the average Gen Z or maybe even millennial customer if you are the kind of business that offers services to that age group. You can use nostalgic memories of street food to your advantage if you're a local food business looking to serve the older millennials or the younger baby boomers. Now, whatever the case might be, whether in advertising, customer experience, or product design, being aware of the existing precedences within the mind of your target audience will help you on your way to build a great brand in a short time. So, let's walk through some steps or next steps that you can take to get started on leveraging on this thing called precedences. Number one, know your audience. Who is your average target? Can you put a description to this person? Now, it's important that you are as detailed as you possibly can be. E.g., male or female, age 21 to 25, lives in Lagos, middle to high income earner, lives in a rented apartment, and so on. Now, number two, describe your brand. What description would you give your brand? For example, we are a high-end cosmetics retail company and the go-to source for authentic international brands at pocket-friendly prices. Number three, know the precedence. What keywords can you use to describe your brand? Now type each of these keywords in a search engine of your choice and note the images that pop out. Pay particular attention to those images, that lead to sites likely frequented by members of your target audience. Now repeat your search in the social media platforms most likely frequented by your target audience. Also search for successful brands with a similar description and target audience as yours and note why they look like, not what they look like and the kind of ads that they put out, kind of pictures, the kind of content that they put out. And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope that this was helpful. Please send in your questions to me at info@imagoda.com or send us a DM on Instagram at imagoda. In next episode, I'm going to be talking around the subject of brand names. You don't want to miss it.